What does he say? 4 days ago, and he's just been laying on the floor.
Well, there's no talking to her.
It's just a very strange, because that's the only thing that I could find to say,
Just keep telling her nothing to her.
I don't know.
Listen,
What about
but
the movie?
I'm an angry parent, so
You know what we can do?
Well, there's no talking to her. Oh, how can you say that?
But I think that it does interfere
No,
with
it doesn't really. Most of the time.
I don't know what's...
Honestly, you know you're beautiful. I don't.
I was she's going through the whole same thing that you are going through.
Oh, really?
That's awesome.
What do you mean? You just pick it up and put it on its brain, my whole body.
I'm trying to help you, Mr. Delsky, because if you don't change your attitude, you're going to be here. Don't have to come in and change the sheets. No, they cannot do those things. There's a lot of work about show you the Well, there's no talking to her.
Open my mouth.
it's not coincidence or tilfælde. Yeah.
Helene?
The pile of records, the reason of this, does it come from the sound or from the visual?
No, it comes because we were asked to play somewhere where we had to take the airplane. And you can only bring 20 kilos with the airplane, and before we had like lots of speakers or lots of record players, and then we thought about a flexible setup where we could borrow the record player there, but it was able to play 9 records at the same time instead of having 9 record players. So it's that's actually the main reason for this, but we're also very happy. I mean, whatever reason it is, it's a good one.
Does that construction make a certain sound? Like that? Did you develop certain? Is some of the sounds we hear coming from that is standing like this?
Well, it makes it possible to. I mean, you can change records. There was like this spiral record that like went down, so you can walk in this direction. Yeah, and you. So there is sounds that comes from this structure, which was not possible maybe on a more vertical or horizontal. Yeah. So.
Yes, please.
I think it's very obvious that you're a visual artist. For me, it's very visual and very sort of, there's many images in this and very sculptural, very physical, but you still call it a concert instead of like a sound performance or a visual art piece or performance. How come is that you refer to the music term, the concert, instead of the performance, for example?
Yeah, it's like, for me the form is like very clearly a concept. Maybe the music can be sculptural and visual, but this is, if people go into it, if they choose to kind of let the image go to them. For other people, maybe they just kind of say, okay, it's not my, it's disturbing me.
But is it important to call it music instead of sound or like a collage or?
No, maybe it just in some places makes it easier. Because we've been playing a lot in kind of real, in the concerts, in the music environment.
So it gives possibilities to you instead of limited to the performance scene. It opens up and say you can go to the music scene also. What is it?
It's not so important to us if it's called a concert or a performance. It's like this. Maybe it was just from what it fits to. It fits a lot into this. It fit a lot into this, so it became, or it was, maybe we said.
I appreciate that a lot as it is. Sorry? Yes.
Well, sorry, I broke in, but it was because I actually had the same question, but from the other angle. I mean, I was surprised that it wasn't more visual. And it was so rhythmic. Does it need to be rhythmic in order to create sculptures of sound?
Rhythmic?
Yeah.
Well, normally we try to avoid the rhythmic, but the cut-up creates rhythms, but we really try to keep them very chaotic in a sense that they don't shape like a. But I mean, it's different every time, and these things happen. But
I really like it that you place yourself between music and a piece of sound art, and you really speak to both history, especially from my point of view, the history of sound art going back to the Futurism use of original sounds. You use that maybe through records which has real sounds on it, and you kind of put that into your performance and put it into something I would say is a bit Robin Gistel and that kind of thing from the 80s, the industrial music, but you do it in a very contemporary way. This could, from hearing, this could be something a noise artist behind a laptop is doing, but you're doing it analog, completely analog, and that really makes it amazing for me what you're doing. That there's so many people hiding behind a laptop and creating something similar, but doing it analog, and this way it's really it blow.
But also to answer the question before, why it was not more visual or what the performance part in it. I mean, we try really to pull ourselves as much back from this as possible. I mean, we put the records on and choose them and do all this, but it's the sounds that's in focus. And this is maybe also why we like to call it concert, because then it's clear that it's the sound, that's the main thing about this performance.
But in making your sound so visible, you are also very visible as performers. And how do you, I mean, you have great attention to the setup of the instrument. How do you perceive yourself as performers? What is your role?
Our role is to make the music, like change it. But apart from this, it's more like a music, more like trying to listen and to make the music maybe also flexible and to. I don't feel I have other role as a performer in this, like than to concentrate on the music and try to make it the best possible for the sound to come out the best.
More comments, anybody? Yes.
Well, I don't know. Well, for me, I just what about the emotional level that you create? Have you any thoughts about that? Or, because for me, I was like, oh damn, I don't like this. But of course, I know it's physical and it's supposed to do this impact on me. Have you any?
We work very much with the emotions.
Like to annoy me.
Well, actually, we don't have the same feelings about this when if it annoys you.
No.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's too rude because my English is not as refined as when I speak the English.
But of course, but we work very expressionistic with this, or very. I mean, we choose physical and emotionally somehow. I mean, we don't have. We don't have like a clear concept about, apart from how we construct the things, but when we play, we really use in the moments, like what would feel right the next, it's very, what music also can do. I mean, it can really go places where visual art or other things cannot in this sense, and we work with like a kind of emotional spectrum, very, very consciously, and maybe that's also we use also very much sound from the horror genre because it's.
Maybe that's why I get scared.
Yeah, maybe that's why. Because this is also when you listen, the sound with. For example, in the horror genre is extreme visual in itself,
yes,
and
it is like
yeah, exactly. And you don't need the imagery to get these feelings. Your imagination, so you just goes to places in your brain where you the fear of the unknown, or you can somehow create this with the sounds themselves.
I find it very interesting, so I didn't mean that it was annoying.
No, I didn't say.
Please. Yes.
No, I just find it interesting that you control the volume and try. It seems like you're trying to find this specific point that people can stand. I mean, it's just on the limit what you can stand. The ears can that you can go through, and you are in the position where you say, okay, you're not like very visual and performing, like being in very present as performers, but your sound is so present and so sort of physical and confronting, and you control the volume. So I think it's as you say, very expressive, but also just to the limit.
We like it to be so loud that it becomes a little bit physical, but to control the limit on this is difficult because we are behind the speakers, so we have just kind of the monitor system, so we can kind of control. We want it to be loud, but the sound behind is different.
And also some of the records are really, I mean, unexpectedly loud also for us. I mean, these cut up really, we don't always know what's exactly coming out of them. Sometimes we get like...
It's good to be waked up.
Yeah. So.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so you were talking about that you actually work very much on an emotional level, and I was wondering, do you then sort of plan out what kind of emotions you want to bring the people, the audience through when you are performing? What is the emotional landscape, so to say?
Yeah, maybe on a more abstract level, to make kind of the dynamics in it, to have some kind of more silent parts and some more rough parts. It's not kind of a guideline which kind of emotions we precise want to go through, but kind of to have like a storyboard on how you can build up emotions and cut them again, or go from one to the other. It's not completely precise, because it's what kind of emotions we work with when we're making it. Is also just trying to listen to a lot of records and feel if it touches anything from us, or if it's, and then like bringing these parts and then.
And that's how you choose the records?
Yeah, when like sitting and trying to make music, prepare music or try to compose, is trying out a lot of different records, and then some are good, some are not working, because it depends. You have to find parts where you can make this music, use it, but in samples, but in the same time bring it to something that you feel is changes from this music to something that's you recognize this music and this atmosphere, but it becomes something different, like becomes like our music, but with a lot of samples and references and this to other music.